8 o'clock on a Sunday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. I hope you are, and you've got us feeling all right. Not John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, he said, John, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday like this, really. And the manager, that's her, she gives me a smile. 'Cause they know that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar. Please say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Hello.
Hurrah!
I'm taking my glasses off. I never use them. I put them all on top of my head, but that's it. How are you? Nice to see you. All right, it's Sue saying hello. Yes. There she is. Look at the technology. It's getting weaker, better and better. And Rachel, every week, the techie team is just making the graphic look good with Rachel and Claire, who's doing the graphics, and Rachel doing the... It's just wonderful. So we work all week to make sure that you have a better JV experience. We hope that's it. Now,
Speaking of which,
What?
if you've not turned off your subtitles,
Yes, here's how to do
it now, because otherwise, with the next song, you're going to get a lot of confusion.
Can I say, I love the subtitles. I've watched them. Now, we don't control them. You have to control them on your device. Have we?
Yeah, so
there's a little
basically,
cog.
If you look at your screen, there's going to be a little cog somewhere. Click on it. There's going to be a little cog somewhere, and it says subtitles off. That's what you need.
If not, if you want a good laugh, then this is the time. Now, I remember doing this song. It's an Italian song, okay? And it's by Donizetti, and it's called Me voglio fare a casa mezzo mare. I used to do it a lot in the shows when I used to go do this particular show. And it's difficult, it's high, but it's also got lots of words. And I remember doing it at a big conference, and there were about 1,800 people at this conference. And I stood up to do this song, and there was a woman interpreting, and she was doing it for the deaf, and she was, of course, and I'd done a lot of that in the theatre. The first time I thought I was going to have to jump onto, I'd never seen anybody do it, and it was on the side of the stage in the Royal Theatre, and I was about to jump them because I thought somebody had hijacked the stage. Anyway, this woman was in, I think it was the Keswick Convention, big conference, and they were all there, and I started singing this song. And she looked across, and she hadn't prepared the song at all. I'd just thrown it in, as I often do. And she looked at me, and she went. So that's what you're going to get. Me voglio, I'd love to build you a house in the middle of the sea, made of peacock's feathers, and when you, my sweet Nanella, come out to say good morning, it will be as if the sun is greeting us. Let's see if I can still sing it. Me voglio fare una casa mezzo mare, me voglio fare una casa mezzo mare, travecata de pene de paure, travecata de pene de paure. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. D'oro e d'argento lì scaline fare, d'oro ed argento lì scaline fare, e le prete preziose lì barcune, e le prete preziose lì barcune. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Quando nella mia se va a cacciare, Madonna nella mia se va a facciare, ognuno dice, o sponta l'usore, tralla-la-la-la, tralla-la-la-la, tralla-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, tralla-la-la-la, tralla-la-la-la, tralla-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Thank you very much. And I used to say that all the time. My boys, always, the ones that came on went, thank you very much. And I know they're listening to me down over in Bath. Thank you very much. And hopefully my son Nick in Guildford, and maybe Matt has gone out to water the lawn. Greetings to everybody out there. It's wonderful. You know, one of the things is that we've been looking, going for these walks. We went for a walk the other day with some friends of ours, socially distanced walking, you know. And they walked on one side of the field, we walked on the other, and shouted. It was great. It was very, very... Nobody knew any of our business because my voice is small. And But we saw, it was a beautiful countryside. And it's just wonderful walking around. And I was just thinking of this song, you know. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world. And I always like to sing that for my very good neighbour, Tracy. Tracy and Dave, who have helped us out so many times from disasters and plumbing disasters that you've never even imagined. So for them.
Can I also say that this is also for Mark, who's down in Pewsey. Mark, we know that you've had a tough week and a lot of very difficult medical stuff going on for you. Very painful, but hopefully that soothed you a little and you feel a bit better. But that one was for you because I know you particularly wanted that one.
Now, I've always wanted to do this song, and I heard it in the midweek, and I thought, you know...
and I've heard it lots this week.
Okay, all right. And it takes an awful lot of practice. I believe it's Duke Ellington.
You're right. It is Duke Ellington.
It's the Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington.
So I want you to notice the deliberate mistake I made in the Donizetti. I completely lost my way.
You lost the chord, didn't you?
I couldn't remember what the chords were. It was played back in the 80s. Leave me alone. When I was a big star in opera, I used to sing that an awful lot. That was... it's very high these days. I'm going lower and lower. I think, that's a bottom D, that's a bottom C, that's a bottom B flat. It's really worrying when you can sing a B flat, that's a bottom flat. You know that your whole life has changed. Your clothing changes. That's what I'm going to tell you.
That's for sure.
Okay.
Are you going to show them what you're wearing?
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Hang on.
You ready? Here we are. A tails jacket. All right. Fully tailed. There we go. Oh, now, before I go on to the next one,
Nothing but the best.
I just wanted to just read a few bits and pieces. And one of them just came in from my great friend, John Bathgate, up in Scotland. Okay, John and Liz, and we're thinking of you up there. And apparently he's looking forward. Apparently the big changes in Scotland come Thursday. They're going to be able to have barbecues. But why would you want to have a barbecue in minus 16 degrees? What's that about in Scotland? So, John, have a lovely time as you're huddling around the barbecue with your coats and your scarves and your hats. Going, great, we can enjoy a barbecue. I don't even want a barbecue. But because we're allowed to have one, we're going to have one. Anyway, this was sent to me just literally 5 minutes before we were going up. It says, it's a T-shirt, a picture of a T-shirt, all right? And on it says, Dominic Cummings Lockdown Tour 2020. 31st of March, London. 5th of April, Durham. 13th of April, Barnard Castle. 14th of April, London. 19th of April, Durham. I'm sorry, but I don't, what?
And I have to say that Gareth Hill, when he checked in this evening,
yes,
he also said, I've got a good idea for a song for tonight. I've got to leave old Durham town.
There's so many jokes here. I can't remember who said it, and just write in and tell us quickly which one, because I've got them down. My granddad always says, as one door closes, another. As my old granddad, he used to say that, as one door closes, another one opens. Lovely man, terrible cabinet maker. It's an old joke, but I love that one. I'm not saying I'm eating too much. This was from Karen Bate, I think. I'm not saying I'm eating too much, but I'm getting a tan from the fridge light.
Quite like that one.
That's quite nice, isn't it?
I identify with that, I have to say, Karen.
To be honest, the fridge, it just reminded me, some of our health has not been the best. I know, Mark, your health has not been good, and many people have written asking if you do songs that will cheer them up. And so there are lots of songs like that, as well as some old depressing ballads that I like doing. I like songs that make me cry. It just reminded me, when I was a friend of mine was very ill, and he wasn't very good, and I said, what's happening? He's 60 years old. He said, I went to the doctor, and I went and checked out. He said, I said, look, been a friend many years, could you check me out? So we checked him out, and the doctor checked him out, and he said, you're in great form, everything's great. He said, your blood's good, your blood pressure's good. He said, your heart's in good condition. He said, everything seems to be great. He said, I just need to know. He said, as your doctor, as your friend, that you're at one with God and at one with yourself. And the man said, well, as a matter of fact, God and me are very close, very close. We're like this. He said, well, how do you know? He said, well, a man of my age, when I get up in the middle of the night to do a whittle, to do it. He said, poof, on the light comes. And when I'm finished, poof, off the light goes. And the doctor was intrigued. He didn't ask too much. He said, well, thanks very much. That's great. That's great news. Thanks very much. He was intrigued so much so that he phoned Janice, his wife. He said, look, nothing wrong. His blood's good. Everything is in great condition. Just need to say something a bit strange. Need to know what's going on. He said, well, what's it? He said, well, I asked him, about his relationship with God. He said, yes, he's very close. He said, well, what did you say? Well, apparently, when he gets up in the middle of the night to do a whittle, it's poof, on the light comes. And poof, off the light goes. And she went, oh, no. He's been weeing in the fridge again, hasn't he? Okay. And
do nothing.
All right. Did they like that one?
We haven't got there yet. They're 14 seconds behind us.
Oh, right. Of course they are. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. This song is by Duke Ellington, and it goes like this. Do nothing till you hear from me. Pay no attention to what's said. While people tell the seam of anyone's dream is over my head. Do nothing till you hear from me. At least consider our romance. If you should take the words of others you've heard, babe, I have a chance. True, I've been seen with someone new. That doesn't mean I've been untrue while we're apart. The words of my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, other fan may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me. Baby, you never will. and see. But someone new, that doesn't mean that I've been untrue. While we're apart, the words of my heart reveal how I feel about you. Some kiss may cloud my memory, and other arms may hold a thrill. But please do nothing till you hear it from me. Please do nothing till you hear it from me. Please do nothing till you hear it from me. And baby, you never will. Oh yeah. And don't tell your mama. Drift by my window, the falling leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves start to fall, since you went away, the days grow long, and soon but I miss you, oh, most of all, my darling you. When autumn leaves start to fall.
Oh, that was lovely, JV. Both songs beautiful.
I do love that song.
That's
and I'm going to put this in. But my life is a very odd thing. It's what time is it now? 25 past. My life is a very odd thing. I get phone calls suddenly in the middle of the week. I got a phone call. Could I record something to go to Timberline in Colorado, church in Colorado, and just to say, and I haven't said this to Sue, but there are many churches. There are thousands of people out there right now, thousands of you listening. And if you are a church that would like to have a song in your online church, because we're still doing that for some time, we think. And if you'd like that to be part of your service, then just write to us and we'll record one especially for you. We'll record a greeting and send it to you. It's not costing you anything, all right? When people give us ministry gifts, when they give us gifts as a contribution, then what that does is it pays for us in the week to do this. So I got another call from a person you may know from, called Pam Rhodes, who used to do Songs of Praise, and which she still does. But she was a great old friend of mine from Songs of Praise days. And she said, look, I've got a 2-minute slot I need on a radio show. Could you quickly go and record Michael Ball, Love Changes Everything? Well, of course, he's a tenor and I'm a bass. So we had to find the right key for it. I've never done it, and I had to quickly do it. And I thought, I know that you're going to want it because it's one of those songs that, and I haven't recorded it. Don't ask for it because I haven't recorded it. But I just thought I'd put it in. I think it was Rachel, the tech team, said, you've got to put this one in. Love changes everything, hands and faces, earth and sky. Love changes everything, how you live and how you die. Love can make the summer fly, or a night seem like a lifetime. And love changes everything. Now I tremble at your name. Nothing in the world will ever be the same. Love changes everything. Days are longer, words mean more. Love, it changes everything. Pain is deeper than before. Love will turn your world around, and that world will last forever. Yes, love changes everything, brings you glory, brings you shame. Nothing in the world will ever be the same. Nothing in the world will ever be
Okay, so I think this is what's going to happen. I think there's going to be an unexpected song every week.
Oh, really? Thank you.
I'm not sure who's going to be the one that's not expecting it. Possibly me, as well as everyone else. But anyway, that was lovely, and they did enjoy that.
Did you enjoy Love Changes Everything?
And I enjoyed it very much.
Now this one is for, and I'm going to do this. Be Still. There's lots of people it's for, or quite a few people.
So Julia and her family, and Julia, sadly your dad died back in April, and you had the funeral, I think, on the 15th of May, and you would like this, and especially for your sister Sally and your niece who's Alice. And also Be Still is a firm favourite of our dear friends David and Sue, and we want to do it for you because we love you very much.
And for the Kierans?
Oh yes,
Kieran Doran,
Kieran Doran,
and Julian Doran,
and Gillian, and thank
Gillian,
you for
not Julian.
and thank you for your support and for watching Jonathan so regularly and faithfully each week on your big TV
and
on the wall.
This means a lot to him in particular when he went through his own medical problems about 2 years ago, and he had this playing, I think, on repeat when he was recovering. Can't quite do the version on the album. It's on Hymns Project 1, and this is just a beautiful version that Mark Edwards, my fantastic producer, and I produced between us, and it was called Be Still for the Presence of the Lord. Just one other apology, which is Naomi Barry sent a verse. If you're out there, Naomi, I couldn't find it. I think it's, now I'm thinking about it, it's on my my mail, and I didn't look. Next time, and I'll do that extra verse, but this time it goes. Be still for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here. Come bow before Him now with reverence and fear. In Him no sin is found. We stand on holy ground. Be still for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here. Be still, for the glory of the Lord is shining all around. He burns with holy fire, with splendor He is crowned. How awesome is the sight, how radiant King of light. Be still, for the glory of the Lord is shining all around. Be still, for the power of the Lord is moving in this place. comes to cleanse and heal, to minister His grace. No work too hard for Him. In faith receive from Him. Be still, for the power of the Lord is moving in this place. And I also want to sing that for Richard and Val up in Whitney.
Yeah, Richard and Val
Donahue, who are, she's recovering from an operation, and we send them our love. So many, look, you know, one of the things that this show is about doing a whole lot of stuff. I love music, all right?
He will sing, as you can tell, many styles.
And it's the thing that, what I want to say to you all is that I put the gospel together with just the great songs, other songs. I mix them all together because that's how I see my life. I don't see it as my Christian bit over here and my secular life over there. It's all one life, and I'm singing. All right, that's what I'm doing. I'm singing these songs. I'm singing them for you, and I'd like to.
Whilst Jonathan is just going to shift over and get the guitar, can I just remind you that if you freeze or you lose the sound or something like that, that you need to refresh your system, because I've checked it all and we're fine here. So, and Rachel's made sure it's okay. So just simply refresh and you should pick us up again, no trouble at all. That would just help Jonathan.
It would, and so we are on Ethernet, which means we're on a cable and it doesn't die, so we're fine. So you're going to have to get techie yourself, I'm afraid, on this one. Here we are. Now, when I was, this has been requested again, and I suspect it will be requested again and again. And what I was trying to say to you all was that we do these songs for you. I entertain, that's my business. And we're here for as long as you would like us to be. I mean, there are rumours about, you know, lockdown being ended and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And we need from you, and I don't want this to be a kind of, you don't have to send in thousands of emails, just to kind of, yes, we'd like to continue, because we will continue, set this room up now, and we'd like to continue. We might not do it every week. Once everything opens up again, we might do it every week, we might do it every other week. And so we set this show up, and I've got so many lovely guests that I want to invite and invite back. So just write in on an email or a text or whatever, and just say, yes, it's something we'd like to do, and we'd love to do that. Now, this has been requested by Mike Bailey and his wife. They said we missed the country and western bit, and I thought the country and western. Look, let me just tell you that I was brought up all right on country and western. My dad had one of those old gramophone. You remember the gramophones, the ones that you could play Perry Como. You could put Perry Como records on the left, and you could put your pottery on the right, and sorry. Right, left, I can't remember. And they were record players. And you all of you out there, you're old enough. And you remember you put the record on, it went whoosh, boom. And you could put like 15 records, one after the other, and they'd do it automatically. I'm still fascinated by that. Never mind about the technology we've got now. How did they work that one out? But we were brought up with names like Tammy Wynette and Waylon Jennings, you know, remember, I think it was Tammy, was it Tammy wrote Lay the Blanket on the Ground? I had to explain to my dad that was not a song about a picnic. You know what I'm saying? But, and so the first instrument I played was a banjo ukulele, a ukulele effectively, it's, you know, with the last four strings of the guitar, like that. And then my dad had a beaten up old brown guitar. Before, I mean, I think we had, I can't remember when we got the piano, it was a lot later. But my parents bought the piano for us a lot later so we could learn and at home and play for church. But the country and western, my parents, they loved all that kind of that gospel stuff that came out, and Jim Reeves. Remember Jim Reeves? Oh, you do, don't you? Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you, he'll have to go. It's so depressing. What is it about that generation of stuff? Oh my goodness, country western. It's like, it's death, depression and dogs, isn't it? DIVORCE is made final today. Me and little JOE will be going away. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. 400 children and a crop in the field. That's what I thought he said, 400 children. No wonder the man was depressed. Leave him alone. I've had some bad times, lived through some sad times. The time you're hurting won't heal. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. Oh, my granny's a cripple in Nashville. Since Grandpappy pushed her way down the cliff, you're the reason our kids are ugly. Mama, get the hammer, there's a fly on Papa's head. If she had, you got to think about this one. If she hadn't been so good looking, I might have seen the train. What's another one, Sue? I've forgotten them all. That's it. That will do. And I can't. Oh no, there's another one. Dun, dun. It's been awful lonesome in the saddle. Sorry. Since my horse got up and died. Look, I'm going to stop all this, okay? Oh, my dog's dead. My grandma, she's dead. My papa, he's dead. My fishy wishy is dead. How about you? Every now and again, a great song comes from country and western music. I loved it in Nashville. Loved it to bits when we recorded our album, It Is Well. We've got great country players on there, and I love country. As does my dad, and it's his 88th birthday on Tuesday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad. And he's over there in Reading with my mum in isolation. And this was, I think, his favourite song all those years ago. It goes like this. You play Scold on my finger. You brought love like I've never known. You gave life to our children, and to me the reason to go on. You're my bread when I'm hungry. Lovely, Sue. You're my shelter from the troubled wind. Let me just talk about a little bit about troubled wind.
Oh, don't. You've just
No, it was. Oh no, but it was three boys. I've had troubled wind in this house for years. You're my anchor in life's ocean, but most of all, you're my best friend when I need hope and inspiration. You're always strong when I'm tired and weak. Or I could search this whole world over, and you'd still be everything that I need. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from the troubled wind. You're my anchor in life's ocean, but most of all, you're my best friend. Sing with me, everybody, come on, you're my bread. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from the troubled wind. You're my anchor in life's ocean. You're my anchor in life's ocean, but most of all, you're my best friend. Very good. Right, if you're there, you can clap your hands. You ready? Just clap your hands. Come on, Sue, clap your hands. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, 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 yeah. A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't remember that one. Never remember that one. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Now, I'm moving on. Gonna put the back. Here we go, Susan. Can you take that guitar away?
Take the guitar.
Don't take that. And take that away from me as well, and we can get on. Now, lots of people ask different questions over the years, and actually, I've got 15 minutes. I want to do this one. Yes, just how did you decide? Adrian Pinnock in the Isle of Wight, bless him, and the whole of the Isle of Wight, and St Catherine, all of those in St Catherine's that are listening. We did a show there. The URC in Shankly, we did a show there. We did a show in Newport. We spent a lot of our life, Rowena and Oz, Adrian and Nicola, and so many people, and Tracy Barker and her husband Phil. I think yeah, and her son Phil, and I can't remember her husband's name. Sorry, Tracy. But we send you all our love, and we can't wait to get swimming in that sea again over in Ventnor. And Adrian said, how did you decide to follow the career you have, and how difficult was it to juggle fame, family, and faith? Yeah, it was very nicely asked, Adrian. And it was always it was an accident. I didn't want to sing opera. That was not a God accident, I think, in the end. And it led to choices that I made when I went to university. And they said, could you sing? And because I played the viola, I told the viola joke last week, and I said I couldn't play. And she said, sing this scale. So I la 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 la, went in. I became her singer, and then won big competitions as a result of her pushing me to Trinity College of Music. And all the things, every step I took was just one step. It wasn't a major step. I had no dream to become an opera singer. That was just definitely not part of my thing. And then suddenly I won these big competitions, and Sue sat there. I remember the Royal Academy of Music, and I won the Peter Pears competition, a big international competition at that time, and the Anna Instone at the same time. It was 1984, 85, something like that. And we just got married, and I didn't know what I was doing, and everybody thought I was wasting my time, and I was a waster. And I won these competitions and was shot to Glyndebourne. Glyndebourne took attention because all the press were there, and it became something that it was one little step after another, and then you start in the chorus at Glyndebourne and build up and up and up until eventually, I was singing major roles, Maramina. Il catalogo è questo delle belle che muove il vetro mio, un catalogo che ho fatto io. Osservate, leggete con me, osservate, leggete con me. in Italia si cento e quaranta, and it went on. That was from Don Giovanni, and I became famous for singing that, I suppose, and Rossini and Mozart. And how did I balance it up? I didn't always balance it up, and I have to look into the camera right now and say I got it often very wrong. I was away from the kids too much for a lot of their early life, particularly Matthew. I was away for 9 of his birthdays, and it was it's not the sexy life everybody thinks it is. It's hotel rooms for 3 months, just one room, and you go and rehearse, and you come back, and you're so exhausted, and you rehearse for 9 hours a day, and that's what you do. That's the job, and then you go and perform, and the performance it's tough, but it was an enjoyable time when you're singing, and it was wonderful. Sorry? Yeah. Well, here's a story. You'll enjoy this.
Opera, over 26 years of doing this job, I would say that people in my experience, you as the audience love it more when things go wrong than when things go right. Am I right? Cheers. Oh, look, he's fallen off the stage and broken his leg. What a laugh. So I was in Leipzig, in Eastern Germany, doing an opera called L'Elisir d'Amore, which is the Elixir of Love in English, and it's by Donizetti. He's dead, you know. And you didn't even know he was ill, did you? Yeah, no. And the director greets me, and he's French, and he comes across and he said, "Bonjour, monsieur." I said, "Bonjour, monsieur." He said, "Monsieur Veira, I was thinking, you know, normally you would come on from the side of the stage, oui?" Ah, the stage. I said, "Oui, normally I would come on from the side of the stage." He said, "Normally, Monsieur Veira," he said, "you would avance to the centre de stage." Oui, I said, "Oui, I would avance to the centre of the stage." He said, "And then, Monsieur Veira, you would avance to the front of the stage." I said, "Oui, I would advance to the front of the stage." He said, "And then, Monsieur Veira, you would sing l'aria." Oui, I said, "Oui, I would sing l'aria." He said, "And then, Monsieur Veira, le public, they would go absolutely wild." I said, "Oui, le public would go absolument wild." He said, "Monsieur Veira, I was thinking we could do something totally different." Oui? I said, "No." I said, "What exactly are you proposing, monsieur?" And at that point, he pointed up and he said, "Monsieur Veira, I was thinking we could fly you in." At which point, he produced, no word of a lie, a body harness. He said, "Would you like to try it?" "No, I would not like to try." I'm thinking of my mortgage here, you see. So I climbed into this body harness, and I can tell you, gentlemen, I've never experienced such pain as this, all right? There. And then they've got 2 little bits that they attach the wires from the ceiling, from the gods, which are way up there. And then the German technician came across and he said, "So, alles gut, ja?" I said, "Ja, alles gut, danke." And he gets on his walkie-talkie, he's attached the thing, and he says on this walkie-talkie, "Geh," which means go. Well, I have never known a more efficient hydraulic system than this. I went from 0 to 62 feet in 2.5 seconds. And they shout up, "Alles gut, ja?" I have to sing this aria, 6.5-minute aria up there. For some reason, there was a technical problem in the theatre. And so I couldn't get to rehearse it properly until the dress rehearsal. That's when all of you lot come in for free. So I turned up, get the... I'm hanging up there. So what happens is they wheel me out. The audience gasp. We'll try that again. The audience gasp. And now in German. That's definitely racist. The orchestra crashes. Ba-ba! And I start singing. And on this particular day, this is honestly what happened. So we just rehearsed that one more time. You ready? So I appear. The orchestra go, "Ba-ba! You go." Udite, udite, rustici, attenti, non fiatate, io già suppongo. And I spun and spun out of control. They'd forgotten to untie the wires at the top of the building. I'm spinning round. The audience are apoplectic with laughter, can't stop. The orchestra are so bemused by the whole thing, they stop playing and look up. German go, was ist das? Ah, das ist ein Englischer. And it stops, and it spins back the other way. And all I can think, I'm up there, an Englishman singing in German and Germany to Germans in Italian. And I shouted out from 60 feet above, Mama, I'm flying. And it made the national press such that they all piled in on the first night, I can tell you. 1,500 Germans, they're all sitting in there. And it got to that moment. I got the, alles gut, ja, shoot and push it. Baba, audience. Udite, oh, rustici. You could hear the sound of 1,500 Germans going, oh. 9, 8.
Welcome back, everyone. I love the way that the orchestra is creased up with laughter behind Jonathan there. Jonathan's going to sing a couple of songs now. What a Friend We Have in Jesus, his beautiful new tune of that. This is for Jill Hunkin and her husband, patiently waiting for a mention for a while now. And also someone who's got their birthday this week, Carolyn Baines. We've been tipped off that you've got a birthday this week and that you love this song. And for Graham Harrison, you are in hospital with sepsis, and we are thinking of you, we're praying for you, and we're with you here tonight, and we care very much about you and love you, so we're just singing this one for you. After that, Jonathan will sing King of Kings, and that's particularly for Al and everyone at Laneham Parish Church. That was a church where I became a Christian many years ago, and it's where we got married, and we're thinking of you all tonight as well.
What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. I'll be weak and heavy laden, cumbered with a load of care. Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Do your friends despise, forsake you? Take it to the Lord in prayer. In his arms he'll take and shield you. You will find a solace there. You will find a soul. kings, majesty, God of heaven, living in me, gentle Savior, closest friend, strong deliverer, beginning and end. All within me cries out in praise, Your Majesty. I can but bow, I lay my all before you now. In royal robes I don't deserve, I live to serve Your Majesty. Earth and heaven worship you, God eternal, faithful and true, who bought the nation, ransomed souls, brought this sinner near to Your throne. All within me cries out in praise, Your Majesty. I can but bow, I lay my all before you now. In royal robes I don't deserve, I live to serve Your Majesty. I live to serve Your Majesty. I live to serve Your Majesty. King of kings. And that was also for the Southgates over in Norwich, who wrote to me earlier today. And lovely to hear you online. And fantastic. Now, anything else, Susan, before I phone?
No, quite a lot of people were saying thank you for singing those two, because a lot of people were saying I wanted to ask for that one, but I didn't like to ask.
Well, there you are. You see, all done.
All done.
We know it before you know it. Yeah. And we're phoning now my very special guest tonight. We've got great special guests for you. That's the thing. We've got them lined up.
This is Peter Meadows.
Oh, hello, Peter Meadows.
Hello.
Is that Peter Meadows? This is Sir John Veira here.
Oh, you.
All right, Peter. Calm down over there. Where are you living now? I've forgotten.
Ripley, little village.
Just round
not far from Guildford, just off the M25.
You are very upmarket, though, aren't you, Peter? That's the truth.
Not really. I was raised in. Well, I don't want to be rude about where I was raised, but I was raised in North London.
Which bit?
Where anyone who had teeth, teeth was a sissy. So there was it was a sort of place where you woke up in the morning and listened to the birds coughing. So that's my roots, really. So now, yes, I married. You see, I married a lady from the posh north.
Yes.
The affluent suburbs of Manchester. And finally, in the past 4 years, we've relocated to somewhere which is more suitable to what she's...
Exactly. She's dragged you up, hasn't she?
She did.
My dad said to me when I married Sue that he said to me, Jonathan, when you married Sue, you married up. I quite like that. Yeah. That's quite nice, isn't it? So we both married up.
Yes, her family were deeply shocked she was marrying me, and they were absolutely right, of course.
Peter, it's lovely to have you on. I sung that song deliberately, not just because that song was huge for me. It helped sell an album Life and Soul, that goes back 20 years. Now, that goes back 20 years, the days when we got to know each other better. I was working for you, and you didn't know this, but I was working for you at a conference in Harrogate called the At Work Conference?
Work Together. Yeah.
Work Together. It was a Spring Harvest. Because tell us about Spring Harvest News. A lot of people don't know what Spring Harvest is. Just tell us what it is, and I think you were involved in starting it, weren't you?
Yeah, it's kind of like the best way I could describe it is that every football season, when you have one, deserves a cup final. And it's to me, Spring Harvest is the church's cup final.
All right.
It's when you get everyone together.
Yes.
And it's been going for my life 40 years.
Yeah.
So and it's morphed and changed over the time, but it's essentially brings churches together. We've used Butlins centres with big tops. And it's teaching, worship, celebration for all the family.
Yes.
And tries to help people to live more effectively when they leave. And I suppose the great thing is that lots of people go to churches which are not that big and not that well resourced and really doing their best. And they come there, and some people say they just come for a shot in the arm. But my answer is, don't we all need that sometimes?
Absolutely.
And so and you've been there, and it's fun. And but relevant, and we learn about God and who He is and how we live for Him.
Yeah, and that's actually, and I've been there probably now consecutively. I think probably 15 years now. Apart from this year, because of course we did it online, and it was quite extraordinary. But Peter, what you saw and what I loved about you was that you were big. Your visions were always big. You had always a big picture. You could see big picture stuff. Where did that come from? That kind of, were you born like that? You said you came from North London?
I think so, Jonathan. I mean, you would understand this. You were born with perfect pitch.
Not quite, but near.
Well, I mean, but you know where I am. I mean, you can hold a note,
Yeah.
So you come with perfect pitch. It comes naturally to you. It's sort of in your genes. And I'm a very fortunate person, I think, that was born within my genes to see possibilities.
Yes.
So I would,
yes.
I mean, Spring Harvest was birthed really in a sense because at the time I was editor of a Christian magazine.
Buzz, it was called, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hey!
Anyone listening to this who's old enough would just about remember that. Christian magazine called Buzz seems to be fun, it's not.
But you also, and from my point of view, you championed Christian music. It wasn't where at the time we were all just singing, "Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansed?" That's what we were doing, and you helped change that.
We had a quick touch of Kumbaya.
Yes.
That
Give me oil.
That was there, and the old rugged cross.
Yes.
And you used to do in church. You do the old rugged cross in 3/4 time, bit of waltz. And you come out and you with your Christian group, and you managed to do it in a bit of rock and roll.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to be honest, I have been around long enough to which is hard for some people to realise that Christian music was like that.
Yes.
It was. I mean, however sincere, it was hymns.
Yes.
It was an organ.
Yes.
Sometimes dangerously a piano.
Yes. Never drums.
Guitars were roughly allowed, providing they weren't plugged in at electric, because electricity was of the devil in some people's. And I think it coincided with the whole Beatles era.
Yes.
Suddenly, everyone, every class had a band, and the churches went, "Oh, we'll do it." And my background had been a little bit of rock and roll, and so out of that we did some music, and we used it to share our faith. And suddenly someone said, "Well, we ought to start an organisation to help train and equip these people." So four of us said, "Well, we'll do it then." And then we said, "Well, we need a record company," so we started a record company. and that now has become what was Kingsway, and is now merged into Integrity, I think.
Yes.
And then we said we needed a magazine, so it started off as Buzz because that was the name that most of the amplifiers made of the Christian bands at the time. That's true. But
is that true? Is that where it came? The name
absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah, I created a long list of possible names, so that was there, and someone chose it. But it worked, and that was. people thought it was rebellion, but it wasn't. It was actually just trying to be true to the culture we'd been born in.
Yeah,
we were the first generation of teenagers.
Yeah,
I mean, the word teenager didn't exist at one time, believe it or not. And teenagers were the first generation brought up with television in the home.
Yeah,
their parents had never been brought up with television in the home, and there were two tribes in the same house grunting at each other.
Yeah,
you know, but we. You know, the impact of television and and change, and so you suddenly got Mary Quant and the Beatles and all that movement, and
hey,
we were just trying to be true to our culture.
Don't make me sad. Take a set. This is your era. That song. I mean, I'm far too young. And make it better. Remember that one? Remember to let her into your heart. And it's true. It's all of that stuff. Listen, I'm coming back to you. Let me sing a song. I'm going to sing a song for the listeners. And we always sing this one because this song is about kindness. One of the things I'm going to be talking about on a radio station, I think for Pam Rhodes, is the theme of kindness. I'm going to share that. And actually showing kindness to each other is an incredible thing. And it's one of the wonderful things that has come out of this crisis. And it's an old Carole King song that I recorded in Nashville with some of the musicians that actually played on that album, unbelievably, on Tapestry by Carole King. And it goes like this. When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest nights. Sing it with me. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Bum, bum, bum. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. You just come on now, call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend, oh darling.
You got a friend.
My darling. Sing it for a minute.
You got a friend.
Oh, baby, don't. You got it. One more time. Oh, yeah. You got. Okay, one more time. One more time. Down, down, down. You got a friend. Do you remember that album, mate? Do you remember that?
Love it, had it. And have you seen the musical?
I didn't see it. Highly. We went to see it. You're such a cultured man, aren't you? Can I ask you, have you ever seen an opera?
No, never been.
How
I've never done opera or ballet. Never done either of those two things.
No, it's funny, isn't it? I can't get ballet. I don't get ballet, but then my daughter...
You'd be great in ballet, Jonathan. It's created a picture in all our minds right this moment. You would be wonderful.
Thank you for that. That's very lovely. Well, my granddaughter, she's 3, and we just bought a new pair of ballet shoes, and she does love her ballet, and she does her ballet dancing. And so I think I might have to get into ballet, but I love ballet music, but I just can't get... don't get it. One of the things, just tell you, in opera, the word that we feared most, you see, Peter, in opera, when I was doing that for 34 years, the word we feared most was the word choreographer, because that meant that the singers had to dance, and we were just terrible. It would be these really fit ballet dancers who would come in tiny, they would weigh nothing, and in they come in and say, right, choreography, and 7, 8, and we had no idea what they were doing, and, anyway, all right. Peter, now I've got you on here because one of the reasons was that we did a conference together called the Christian Resources Exhibition just recently, and it was a lovely time. We were sitting with Cindy Kent and
the lunchtime chat show.
Yeah, it was a chat show, and we were talking.
The Jonathan Veira show in the end.
Yeah, it did. Well,
but it was good.
Inevitably, and that's fair enough. As long as you all realise it's all about me, and. But I was quite taken, in fact, incredibly taken, because it's a subject close to my heart, about this generational difference. Now, you talked about us as a youth generation not being listened to when we were younger, and we wanted to be listened to, and wanted to at least heard, our voices heard, because actually it's no point the church going on and not incorporating the youth. But what's happened now? Tell me, what do you think's happened now with us as we've got older?
Well, I think there's something really interesting happened in terms of retirement today. And retirement for some people is a troubled word because they don't ever like to think of retiring. But it's important, I think, to understand the generational change that's happened. Our parents' generation generally, when they came to retirement, just stopped work, and pruned roses and had no great dreams of another life. That was basically it. They'd worked hard, they'd had few holidays, resources were hard, the war had tired them out. But there's a generation coming to retirement today which are entirely different. They come usually with enough health, enough time, enough age to come to live a whole new life. And it's very important, I think, to help them. No one, as far as the church is concerned, is very interested. Churches prepare people for baptism, prepare people for wedding, for marriage. Never think to prepare people for the next major step in their life, which is how do they continue to make the most of life in a situation of which we call it active retirement.
Yes.
And the church does a great job with those of a generation older. Those people who have never worn denim, all right? Those people who've waltzed and never jived.
Yes.
But it's the denim generation who are then just find themselves, I think, adrift, and we found it, which is the reason we identified the need and have pulled together something called afterworknet.com, which is a fully functioning website with lots of practical help and a weekly blog on things like how to make the most, of your opportunities in your retirement and your active years. What are they? Because what happens is the world outside in normal times is saying, go on a cruise, you're worth it.
Yes.
Spend money on you.
Exactly.
But there are new adventures to happen. And from my Christian perspective, when Jesus says, you've got to be a good steward of your life, that doesn't end with retirement. When he says live your life as a light on the hill, so that people think, what you do is great and worship me, that doesn't stop with retirement. And there are huge opportunities. And so we just, we've got a passion to help people make the best fist of it they can. And of course, part of it is, I think people have failed to realize that when you leave your full-time role, there's significant losses happen, which you've got to find a way to compensate. So one thing is you lose your significance, there was a reason to get up in the morning. The relation, so you had a job to do. You felt important wherever you were. That's gone. You had relationships, which whether it was wherever you were, that enriched you. Unless you find a way in your active retirement to replace significance and friendships or relationships, then you really struggle, and in fact, people live less long as a result of that, and less fulfilled.
Do you find, I mean, one of the things that I'm aware of is that often within churches now, if your face doesn't fit at the front, because there is this kind of search within the church, of course there is, lots of churches are searching for the next generation. And of course, what they don't want, the idea is that if they see older people up the front, they see that's the MO for the church. It's old people, run by old people, for old people. How do you combat that kind of what becomes effectively ageism within the church? And people like me who we can still play. I haven't fallen off my perch yet, and I can still hack out a tune or two. But if you're the wrong image, it doesn't fit. If you don't wear a beanie or
John, I've got two answers to that, really, if I may. I think the one is it's really good that the younger generation are enabled and released and able to happen. And I think it's a shame that with age people don't realise that you have this enormous amount of wisdom. Yeah. There's more wisdom wrapped up in age than there is in youth, and youth must be allowed to make its mistakes or be supported when they do it. But I think I would love to see church leadership draw more on the wisdom of people who've proved the years. I think the second thing is we segment our congregations quite a lot in our churches now. We have the we have the dull stuff, the people who want to be dull, and the happy stuff that want to be happy. Yeah. But it's interesting what's happened. The kind of the basic choice is almost settled down to young families. Yeah. And then something which is traditional. Now, frankly, there's a bunch. We describe Spring Harvest. That Spring Harvest generation have come through. Yes. Who've no longer got kids. No longer got grandkids. They do not want to do action songs.
No, that's right. It's not. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Move away from me. Yes.
Please don't. And they don't want great hymns of the past. Bless them, but it's not where they are. So some of them find themselves generating into, if I can be generalised, into the 6:30 mainly youth thing, because that's where they're groping. Yes. We've not yet found any church that has an intentional activity to reach out to the actively retired and find ways to sharing good news about Jesus with them. Yeah. It may be happening. We've been searching for a long while. They do a fantastic job with every other segment.
Yeah, it's true.
They have programs and budgets for children, youth, families, young adults, elderly.
What can we do? I'm just going to be after what time is it? I can't even see the time. Yes, it's 25. No, I think all of this is true. I often say, you have to have a pram to get into the 10:30, and a walking frame to get into the 9 o'clock, and a student card to get into the 6:30. So it's the kind of, each one of them has their entry points, and yet I find actually that what's been quite interesting here is that no other sector works that way. It kind of, this school, it has older people teaching. It doesn't have children teaching children. It has older people and some very older people. And a university, the sector I'm involved in, they don't want 20-year-olds teaching them about stuff. They would like people with grey hair and people that have known a bit of what they're talking about. So there is a mixture, and it must be. I think that it has to be found somewhere that it's not just about the young and it's not just about the old. It's about a family as a family.
We explore all this stuff.
Brilliant,
and it's a huge agenda. I would just encourage people to Google AfterWorkNet, which is all one word.com.
Have we got that up on the screen? It's all up on the screen now. It's all up on the screen now.
You, and we will just go there. And people, I would say, explore the website. Click on the tab that says blog. There's over 100 now
Yes.
articles on various aspects of retirement. And then check out the Facebook and just sign up and, be involved and be part of the journey and learn
Peter,
and share together.
it's been. Listen, do you know what's interesting is that the demographic that I appeal to, I suppose, would be older. It's not going to be teeny boppers. I'm not stupid. We pick some of those up on at the bottom end, but effectively, there are people who are older and have time, and who are coming up to the time when they're going to have retirement, and they're saying, "What do we do?" And I think actually what you've done is you've really helped us just mind down just a little in the time that we've got about people in general, what they're going to be looking at, how they're going to be getting help. You've been an inspiration to people, and I think I know people out there are going to want to hear you again. So, Peter, I'm going to have to move on. We're going to have to.
You have to move on because it's your bedtime.
It's my bedtime.
Get your Horlicks.
The smell of Horlicks has come across Guildford, and you've been great. Love to Rosie, and keep safe in this lockdown. And speak soon.
Blessings.
God bless,
Blessings
mate.
to you both. Bye.
Bye. What a great interview that was. He's always an inspiration, and you can't keep him down. And I think actually a song that this is You Raised Me Up. I think for now. Who's that for? I think.
Yes. So You Raised Me Up again for a number of people. Let's start with Rob. Rob, it's your birthday today, and apparently you absolutely love this song, so this one's for you. Also Wendy Golding, you mentioned that you would like it, and for Karen Spicer, you said that you would like it as well. So You Raise Me Up it is again.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when trouble comes and my heart burdened be, then I'm still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I'm filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. Then I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Yes, you raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. And I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. More than I can be.
Now, did they enjoy that?
They did.
They did. Good. Now, this one, very odd. I'm going to put this in because it's an odd song. It's an odd song. And somebody had asked for a bit of Gilbert and Sullivan, all right? And this song I remember doing back when I was a boy at university. We did Trial by Jury as an opera, and it's a tiny little opera. It's about 45 minutes long. And this is called Trial by Jury, and this is the judge's song, if I can remember it. And
this is for Roxanne.
This is for Roxanne Phillip.
We've had something a bit jolly
because they've had a really bad week. And we know about bad weeks. And as Jeff said a few weeks ago, Jeff Lucas, he said, when asked how he feels, he said, it depends on the time of day you ask me. And we send love out also to Roger Sutton and to Leslie Sutton, who they haven't had a good week this week. And there's a special prayer meeting going on as we speak right now.
Probably finished just now.
Oh, just finished, right, okay, but we send love out to them. Anyway, this has got, it's just a bit of fun, really. And it goes something like this. When I, good friends, was called to the bar, an appetite fresh and hearty, for I was, as many young barristers are, an impecunious party. I'd a swallowtail coat of a beautiful blue, and a brief which I bought of a booby. I'd a couple of coats and a collar or two, and a ring that looked like ruby. He'd a couple of coats and a collar or two, and a ring that looked like ruby.
You've got to join in, guys.
In Westminster Hall I danced a dance like a semi-despondent fury, for I thought I never should hit on a chance of addressing a British jury. I soon got tired of third-class journeys and dinners of bread and water, so I fell in love with the rich attorney's elderly ugly daughter. In love with an elderly ugly daughter. The rich attorney, he jumped for joy and replied to my fond professions, you shall reap the reward of your pluck, my boy. At the Bailey and Middlesex sessions, you'll soon get used to her looks, said he, and a very nice girl you'll find her. She may very well pass for 43 in the dusk with the light behind her. She may very well pass for 43 in the dusk with the light behind her. Well, the rich attorney was good as his word. The briefs came trooping gaily, and every day my voice was heard at the sessions of ancient Bailey. All thieves who my fees afford relied on my orations, and many a burglar I've restored to his friends and his relations. Many a burglar he's restored to his friends and his relations. At length I became as rich as the Gurneys, and in Gooberstead I fought her. So I threw over that rich attorney's elderly ugly daughter. The rich attorney, my talents are high, tried vainly to disparage.
No.
Yes. And now, if you please, I'm ready to try this breach of a promise of marriage. And now, if you please, I'm ready to try this breach of a promise of marriage. For now I'm a judge.
And a good judge too.
Yes, now I'm a judge. And a good judge too. Though all my lobby fudge, it'll never, never budge. And I live and die a judge, and a good judge too. You know how difficult that is to play and sing, all right? I just want you to know that. All right. It's totally different. Now, I'm going to sing two songs from this album, and I'm going to feature this amongst others that we're going to sell for you tonight. And we've got a cupboard full of these that we would love you to have. Remember, we bought so many when we just before lockdown, and the studio's filled with it, and we would love to give them away to you. Well, not to give them away, but nearly give them away.
Sell them at rock bottom prices.
It's £8. £8. You're not going to go wrong with that. And there's this song, which is this is 20 years old now, and it was recorded by Dave Cook. A great musician, fabulous musician, and we got together and we formed this little liaison and had a wonderful musical time together. And he recorded this, and you'll love the tunes. And King of Kings that you heard is on that album. All right, that's the album that went mad, sold all around the world, and kicked off my gospel career, I suppose, in a way, 20 years ago. Thanks to Peter Martin, who's out there. Give him a shout. Because he was at that at-work conference that Peter, who was just on the phone to me, he heard me. That's when he got me to do this. So it's an interesting hymn, this. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus. Who was it requested by, Sue?
This was requested by Lynn Bird, but I think also I would like to dedicate this to the seafarers. I've been very aware that actually these guys are very often stuck on ships for a very, very long time, and during this time of lockdown for them, it's a tough, tough life. So we think of them tonight as well.
And just as a musical point, those of you who are musicians, it's one of the very, very few hymns written in 4 flats in F minor. That means nothing to most of you, but trust me, it's very odd. And it goes like this. I did a little arrangement. Haven't played it for 20 years, I think. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, vast, unmeasured, boundless, free. I have to stop here and tell you that when we did this album, we were trying to find a name, right, for it. It's called Life and Soul. That's what it's called, Life and Soul. But when I came up with it, Sue sat there and she said, well, how about Jonathan Veira? Because I just read the line, oh, the deep love of Jesus, vast, unmeasured, boundless, free. Why don't we call it Jonathan Veira, vast and unmeasured? That's what I've had to live with for 38 years, okay? Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, vast, unmeasured, boundless, free. Rolling as a mighty ocean in His fullness over me. Underneath me, all around me, is the current of Thy love, leading onward, leading homeward to Thy glorious rest above. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, love of every love, the best. 'Tis an ocean vast of blessing, 'tis a haven sweet of rest. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, 'tis a heaven of heavens to me, and it lift me up to glory, for it lifts me up to Thee. Deep love, it lifts me up to Thee. And that is the first time in 20 years I think I've played that.
It is rather beautiful though, JV.
Did they enjoy that one?
They did enjoy that one,
That's
yes.
quite interesting,
Yes,
isn't it?
brought back
So,
a lot of memories for people. I'm up in a different corner now because we've got some news about the mugs. Some people have been receiving them. That's great. We've been sending them out in batches. Well, our lovely friends Fiona and John up in Scotland have been sending them out to us gradually. So some of you will have received them. Some of you will have dropped them. Some of you will have not received them. So just be patient. They are on their way. And we just got a few pictures of people with their mugs to show you. So here you can see a few people have got their mugs, which is great. And there are a few more here. Hello, Roy, sitting there with your mug.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Lovely, Roy. Hello, Roy. Hello, mate.
I think, a few more here. That's very nice. These are just a selection of the ones that we've had so far. And last but not least, we've got President Obama with his mug, an ugly mug, and poor old Brian, who dropped his mug the first day, so he's having to get another one. But thank you to everyone who's ordered them, because that is giving extra money to the charity, and we are so thrilled to be able to pass on so much money to Lisa. So,
however, they're going now. The money, all the ones that are ordered
from now on, all the money is going to go and support our dear friends Fiona and John, who run this church up in Scotland. And they work running this outreach designs organisation, which prints the T-shirts and, in this case, mugs. So if you need any printing done, they're the guys that you need to go to. What are you going to do now, JV?
The other song that I'm going to do from the album.
The other song from the album.
Jesus loves me. This I know. For the Bible, it tells me so. Little one, to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. If you know it, join in. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yeah. Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible, it tells me so. Jesus loves me. He will stay close beside me all the way. He will wash away my sin. Let this little child come in. Yeah, Jesus loves me. Oh yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible, it tells me. For the Bible, it tells me. For the Bible, it tells me so. For the Bible, it tells me so. Again, a song I haven't played for probably 10 years. So all these things are coming out. What's the time? 20. Right, we've got now, I think, I don't know. I'm going to sing this one, which I wasn't going to sing this one. It's late in the evening for me to sing this one. And vocally, it's a really challenging song, but I know that people like it. I haven't recorded it yet, but on the Lockdown album, which is to come, I'm sure at some point, we'll have to crowdfund it because I can't think any other way we're going to get the money. But I want to record it with Mark. We're going to do songs like The Autumn Leaves and things. And if we can get the permission, we do Bring Him Home as well from Les Mis, because I think in this key, it's a higher song, so I have to do it in a different way. Then we're going to have Sue sing a few songs, and then I think we'll put another video next week that I've got of stars that I'm going to show you next week. We'll do that next week. Is that okay? And this one, it goes like this.
God on high, hear my prayer in my need. You have always been there. He's young, he's afraid. Let him rest. Heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the sun I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly on and on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He's young, he's only a boy. You can take, you can give, let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him
That was awesome.
I did like
Awesome, JV.
Susan
really
Ann.
wonderful. Really wonderful.
We've had a good time tonight, and in Christ alone, have we got that one?
Jonathan, can I just point out it's nearly 10 to,
Is it?
and there are several songs that you want
I know.
to do.
In Christ alone, I just wanted to do. Look, who was this for? In Christ alone.
This is for Steve Hales and his wife.
Just the first verse. My hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song, this cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest droughts and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when seas are still, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ, I stand. So many that I'd love to do for you. And we're going to have to wind up a little bit. And I was going to do Just a Closer Walk with Thee. My new tune for this one. Jesus. Now, I'll do it in the right. I am weak, but Thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Oh, let me walk with Thee. None but Thee, none but Thee, dear Lord. Just a closer walk with Thee, granted Jesus, this my plea. I'm daily walking close with Thee, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When my feeble life is o'er and time for me'll be no more, guide me gently, safely home to Thy shore, to Thy kingdom shore. Just a closer walk with Thee, granted Jesus, this my plea. I'm daily walking close with Thee, let it be, dear Lord. Just a closer walk with Thee, granted Jesus, this my plea. I'm daily walking close with Thee, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Written by Sue Rinaldi, who's out there maybe somewhere listening, and beautiful on the album Hymns Project 1. Sue, just to mention a few things.
Right, just a few things just before we let you go and have your Horlicks and whatever it is you want. As you can see, we've got the sort of the little bits of information at the bottom here. Again, this week, if you give us some money, and for that we're always very grateful. If you want to just donate to the ministry, I guess is the best way to put it, isn't it, really? Then we're very grateful, and we will give 25% of whatever you give to this week. It goes to Foodwise again, and we would like to continue to support them for this week.
Absolutely. We spoke to Zoe, who was so inspirational last week, and they could really do with your help. If you'd like to go online, you can donate directly to them,
and thank
or
you
give
to
us,
those,
and we give to them.
Thank you to those who've already given, done that, and we appreciate that very much.
And all of the people that have given so much in this time. Actually, you've given so much money,
so generous. And I know that for many of you it's not possible, and we're not expecting you to do anything, because we know that we're not all in the same situation. Now, if you're wanting to buy something of Jonathan's, and let me tell you, everything he produces is, as you know, top quality. The books are very funny. He's a naturally funny, laugh out loud kind of guy.
And we've got loads of them in the cupboard. Come on.
The books are going to keep you amused in your lockdown.
2 for £16. You're not going to get that.
Amazing.
Again.
You never get that again, I can tell you. What else have we got there?
The boys.
The boys last week had a wonderful time. They really enjoyed being on, and I know you enjoyed them. And they are there on this album.
And that story that you saw tonight.
And the story is on this album. So
it's a CD and a DVD.
That's great. The Life and Soul, as Jonathan mentioned,
featured album
tonight. And we have many, many more. Of course, we've got Hymns Project 2 with some of the wonderful songs that Jonathan sung this evening, and the music books to go with it. But if you're not sure what you want, you can just go on jonathanveira.com, and all the CDs have little clips on there so that you can listen to them and say, actually, yeah, that's the one I want. But just go and, have fun. Go and listen to them all and decide which ones you want to buy. Jonathan will sign everything before I send it out. And if you want it as a gift to someone, then that's fine. Just tell us who you want it written to, and as a separate message to me, and I will make sure that I make him sign them before I post them.
And that's a good point. And, for you may have all the albums. For many of you, you've got a lot of these albums. And you're thinking, what do I do? Well, for £8, can you give it to a friend? You give it to a friend. Now, as we come out of lockdown, you going back in your cars, those of you who've got CD players in your cars, buy the CD, put it in there, listen to it, and give it away, give the book away. It'd be a great thing to do. And it helps us to live. It's not. Yeah. This is what we do for a living. It's blessing us, and it's lovely that you give so generously, and we thank you for that. So lots of people can give little amounts. If you can afford £2, give £2. If you can't afford anything, don't give. But just give small amounts. That's lovely. Or buy an album. Promise of His grace. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do the Lord bless and keep you. Across the changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on, so as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness. Through every breath you will be there. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. If doubts and fears come closing in, we lean on you when strength may fail. And Father in God, you pour your Spirit down. The clouds will clear, the truth prevail. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world. The nails that held God in our place. This is the love that brings forgiveness. This is the promise of His grace. You've been an absolutely fantastic audience tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. Been so many things that I'd love to have done, and we're going to just bless you. Remember, if you want a song, write to us for your church, your organisation, and we'll do that for you. There's no charge for this. We just do that as part of what we do, as part of the ministry, okay? So just whatever. Go on Jonathan Veira YouTube, come join me on Facebook, share it with everybody that you know this, so we get it out to thousands. It's already out. We've had over 90,000 views. 90,000 views of the songs, and it's unbelievable to think about it now, isn't it, since we started. So keep going. We want to get past the 100,000. It's all due to you.
And thank you for joining us. We really do love to have you in our home. I was trying to explain to my mother today, bless her, what we were doing, and she said, well, how do people get their tickets? So where do they sit? And I said, everyone has a front row seat, and they bring their own nibbles and their own food. And she could sort of understand that.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. Thank you so much. God bless you and good night.